All right. Hey. So this is Rowie Rochelle. Rowie Rochelle's bariatric journey. Forgetting my own name. So I have two cameras set up. So hopefully I do okay because they're at different angles. Let's see, I had them all set up now. I'm like, maybe if I move them a little bit. Okay, so this video is about my bout with a constipation. So I'm just gonna give people a couple minutes to get in here, and I warn you, this is a TMI conversation. TMI, because I'm giving. So if you're one of those people that are like, no, please don't tell me about your bowel movements and stuff like that, this is not for you. You're one of those people like, give me all the hot tea, this might be for you. But yeah, it's a constipation thing. Something that just happens after surgery, and there are ways to combat it. So my issue was this past weekend. So Saturday night, like the night before Easter. So today, I'm sorry, today is Friday, April 17th, 2020. Friday, April 17th, 2020. I always try to put the date. Sometimes I get all distracted. And this is Rowie Rochelle from Rowie Rochelle's Bariatric Journey. You got me on Facebook here if you're on the page. You got me on YouTube here if you're on that channel. If you haven't, hook up to both of them. Like and subscribe and hit the notification bell, and share the video if you're live on Facebook with me, because it's about to get in there. Someone's gonna need to know this information. Yeah. So no one's in here that I can see, which saddens me a little bit, but I'm gonna put this video out here anyway, right? Okay, so I still want to kind of give it a couple minutes just to make sure, because I've only been live for about 2 minutes now, so it's not bad. But yeah, so I had my surgery February 3rd, Monday, February 3rd, 2020. And when I weighed in on the morning of surgery, just to give you a little recap here, I was 427. And to lose weight, okay, so when I started out in the program, they had me lose 32 pounds. So I was 462 when I started the program, 427, or 432 to qualify, 427 by the time I had the surgery. Okay, so hey, I see I got a viewer. Go ahead and say hi so I can shout you out. And I weighed in on April 1st. April 1st, I was 390. And I had to weigh in when I went to the ER. The story has a whole lot of stuff in it, okay? I ended up going to the ER on Easter morning. Okay. So I was 380 there. So it's 10 pounds in that 13 days. Not shabby at all. But if you've seen the previous videos, my son was told to hide my scale. So he did. So since he hit my scale, that was it. I weighed in that day and that's it. I don't know. So I won't be able to weigh in again until May 1st. Okay. So I'm going to get into this constipation story because it's TMI. And I hope somebody's watching because I hate talking to myself. Okay. Even though I do it a lot. Alright. So, when you have gastric sleeve or gastric, what am I trying to say now? The gastric sleeve or the bariatric. Okay, I'm already forgetting what I had the sleeve. Okay, I had the sleeve. But their constipation is like really bad. And I heard about people ending up in the ER, and I was like, oh, okay. But it wasn't a problem for me in the beginning because I had bouts of diarrhea. which weren't uncommon for me, because, you know, I would have diarrhea all the time. Like, not diarrhea, like, oh, I'm sick diarrhea, but like runny stool, I should say. Maybe runny stool is a better way to say it. So I wasn't having the constipation problem. Okay, so one day I had the constipation problem. Still nothing major. Gave myself an enema. Everything worked fine. Went on about my day. That was not the case this past Saturday night. Okay, so leading up to Saturday, I guess maybe for about 4 or 5 days, I had noticed that my bowel movements were small and very far in between. Okay. But I figured since I was getting even small bowel movements that I was okay, which was not the case. So, you know, I've been doing a lot of walking, like I've been aiming for 6.2 miles a day, like a 10K. So there's like a lot of walking going on. And some people are like, maybe you're not drinking enough water for what you're doing, which is possible, right? But Saturday night at about 9 o'clock, this is when it all started. This is when everything hit the fan. I go to the bathroom. I know I have to go, but nothing's happening, right? So I'm there with the constipation, and I'm like, okay, let's just wait it out. Because typically I'm not a pusher. I just kind of sit and wait for everything to fall. I'm not a pusher. I've never been a pusher. You know, so like even when I gave birth all those years ago, pushing was not something I was familiar with because I didn't push. I just like gravity, and like your bowels are contracting anyway. They're pushing on their own. You don't need to push. So I was sitting there. I'm on the toilet. I'm just sitting there waiting for everything to happen. Nothing's happening. So I start, you do a little movement over here. You do a little movement over there. You sit back and you try to let it glide. Yeah, nothing. So then I start to push a little bit. Not a lot, just a little bit. And see if I can help it out. Nothing. Okay. So 9:30, 9:45. See, this is when it gets in there. Because I've been pushing a little bit. I've been pushing a little bit. Quite a bit. And then I finally decided, okay, let's go for one of these enemas. It worked last time. Why prolong it? Just help it along. So do the enema. Maybe it was like 10 actually when I did the enema. Held it, but I couldn't hold it really long. So I went ahead, sat down, had a bowel movement. But this is what happened. Got in the shower, gave myself the enema. Held it for as long as I could, which was only like a couple minutes. I couldn't really hold it. And I was like, yes, everything's working. This is good. This is great. Alright, so there was a little bit of movement. But here's the thing. There was a mass here, and then liquid coming out only on the left side. The mass would not move. I pushed, mass wouldn't move. It just refused. So I'm like, okay. And I'm just sitting there. More stuff is coming out. Still not the mass. It's not moving. Oh, then I'm thinking, well, now maybe it's a little greased up. You know what I mean? Like, maybe it'll come out a lot easier now. So I start to push again. Nothing. Start to push a little more. Nothing. Sit and wait. Move around, And then I have my phone with me, and I'm like texting people in my bariatric support group, right? And, well, I put it in the page, on the Facebook page, the bariatric support group, I'm having this constipation. The enema didn't work. It worked last time. I don't know what's up. So people are like chiming in with all these different methods, and I'm trying just about everything, okay? So, this is TMI. I'm telling you right now, this whole thing is going to be TMI times 1,000. I promise you, it's going to get nasty. I just don't want anyone to be surprised or shocked by any of this. It's bad. So, I'm, kind of rocking back and forth on the toilet. I'm hurting. Oh my God, my butt hurts so bad. And I'm like getting up because it's like really painful. So I'm standing up thinking, okay, maybe this will work. And then I say, okay, you know what? I think I waited until about 11 o'clock before I decided, you know what? I'm just doing another enema. This is ridiculous. So 11, I got back in the shower, did another enema, held it for a little longer, got in the toilet again with the liquid on the left side of the mass. The mass is stuck. It is refusing to move. It's not interested in anything. So then finally people start chiming in. This lady says, I jump in the shower with hot water and let it like hit the backside, and that, usually relieves it. I said, okay. So I turned on the hot water. Mind you, I'm not a hot water person. I don't like hot water, but I did it. I'm going to do whatever I have to do to make this work. So turn on the hot water. I get in. I have my back to the water. I bend over, spread cheeks like I'm presenting myself to the water, okay? Because I've actually done this before, but I would just sit on the toilet and drop water down my back. And then, so what the idea is that the water will enter the butt, the rectum, and douse the mass that's sitting there, loosen it up, and let it slide out. This was not happening. I get out the shower because I think I do have to go. I've been in the shower for like 10 minutes at this point, burning myself. I have the water hotter than what is comfortable because I'm really trying to make this work. Mind you, I've been in there since 9. I'm going to say it's like 11:30 maybe at this point. It's, it's getting late. So now I get out the shower. I got stuff running down me. So I'm, bleaching the floor, mopping the floor, I'm, the whole thing. So I sit down again. There's liquid on the left of the mass. The mass is not moving. So I'm pushing like this. At this point, I'm just like, you know what? Just push. Just push. Just get it out. So I'm like really pushing. I got my stomach. I'm grinning, bearing it. I'm like not breathing. I mean, I'm going for it at this point. Nothing. Okay. So I'm getting up and I'm kind of pacing in the bathroom. I get up. I don't know how it happened, but now there's stuff all over the toilet. So now I'm bleaching the toilet. I'm bleaching the floor. I'm bleaching the toilet. Listen, by the time the next morning, that toilet was probably one of the cleanest toilets on the northern hemisphere. I don't even know what hemisphere I'm in. Maybe my kids would know. Yeah, it is the northern hemisphere, right? Yeah, it's against the, anyway. Bleaching the toilet all over, just bleaching and wiping, bleaching the floor and mopping, bleaching. So, because I keep standing up to like relieve some of the pressure, and I'm thinking, oh, well, maybe if I'm standing, I won't, like maybe the path will be straight. I don't know. I'm just doing anything at all to appease it. Then I was like, oh, that's right. I have this magnesium citrate in my cabinet, right? I got it. And it's cherry flavored. So it didn't taste bad at all. It didn't taste bad. But it was still kind of, right? But it didn't taste bad. It was like a sour cherry kind of flavor. Anyway, I was drinking it. It made me nauseous. Okay? Maybe because of all the pushing I was doing, like I was just nauseous. I'm in there drinking water. I have my big old water bottle in there. I'm drinking water. I'm panting. I broke out at one point into a full sweat. It was probably about 11:30 or so. A full sweat. At this point I came out of all my clothes. Everything was off. I'm sweating. I'm panting. Right? This whole thing. My kids were like, are you okay? I'm like, I don't know. Oh, I'm trying not to be dramatic, but at this point, all I can think is, please don't end up in the ER. Please make this work for yourself. You got this. Please don't end up in the ER. And I drank the citrate. Now I got to put the trash in front of me on the toilet. So, every once in a while I get, right? I get diarrhea on the left of the mass. Mass is not stuck. It's stuck for dear life. It won't move. I can't. I'm pushing. Nothing's happening. I'm sitting. I'm waiting. I'm, trying different sides. Nothing's happening. This constipation is about to kill me. So another person chimes in on the support page, and she's like, well, we have an advantage over men. And if you stick your finger up the front hole, you can massage the poop out the back. And now actually, it sounds bad, but I'm again at a loss of words, but I'm going to say perineum. Perineum. So that skin between the vagina and the rectum? That'll rip when you are delivering? Okay, right there. So right there, I have pushed before to redirect the angle of the bowel movement, and it has worked. So I was like, that's right, she's on it. So I got this. Nothing. No, it's still refusing to move. It's not moving at all. Nothing. I'm thinking, okay, now I have heard people say they have gone in to manually remove it themselves, just get some gloves, reach up and grab it. So at this point I'm thinking, okay, you've had I'm still, now mind you, even though I'm getting sick, nauseous off of the magnesium citrate, I'm still drinking it because I've heard in 30 minutes it can clear up everything. So I'm still drinking it. Nothing's happening really, except it's liquefied all the stuff up above, but this mass is still stuck and it's causing me so much angst. So I get in the shower again. I think this might be the third time I've hopped, because I showered earlier and then I showered to wet, my butt, and I showered. So I think this might have been the third or fourth shower. And then I was like, you know what? Maybe I could just go and get it myself. So I reach back and there's no poop. There's no poop. There's no... But there are hemorrhoids. Hemorrhoids. Hemorrhoids are inflamed. They're so huge. I was like, oh, so now we have hemorrhoids with this? They've come out to the party? Okay. Okay. So I shower. I get back on the toilet. I'm again sweating and panting and going crazy. Thanks to the heart, whoever it was. I'm going crazy. I'm in a full body sweat at this point. I'm in a full panic. I'm in tears and I just don't know what to do. Someone says, hey, try the smoothies tea. I say, okay. So my son gets me the tea. We let it steep for 20 minutes. I try to drink. Oh my God, this stuff is so disgusting. I'm not a tea drinker anyway, okay? I'm not a tea drinker anyway. But I attempted to drink this tea. I didn't have any honey or sugar limit because I don't drink tea. So, and I'm like, I'm just going to shoot it. I'm just going to shoot this smoothies tea and all is going to be right with the world. And I could not drink this tea. It was so bad. Oh my God. So the constipation remained. So I'm sitting here. I'm in tears. I'm at my wit's end. And I'm shaking. I thought, you know what? Loud card by the window, sorry. I'm going to faint. Because I was shaky. I was trembling. And I was like, I'm going to faint. So I, washed up again. Went into my room. My kids brought me some grapes. I'm thinking at least the sugar will help me out a little bit. And I can, level off and be able to go back in there and fight, because now it's midnight. It's after midnight or something. It's probably like 12:15 in the morning. This started at 9 o'clock at night. So this has already been from 9 to 12, okay? I've been stuck in the bathroom trying to have a bowel movement. I am so blocked up. I'm scared I'm going to end up in the ER. It's just getting worse. Nothing's happening. So I eat the grapes. I go back into the bathroom. I continue to push. And at this point, I'm afraid to push because the hemorrhoids are here. I'm like, I don't know what to do about this. This is insane. So finally, everything just stopped moving altogether. There's no more diarrhea coming out on side of the mask. There's nothing. So I wrap it up, shower again, lay a towel down in my bed, go lay down. And this was, okay, so this, mind you, is 1 o'clock. So I've been fighting from 9 to 1, okay? 9 p.m. to 1 a.m. Now it's Easter morning. Well into it. I lay down. I'm trying to go to sleep. I can't go to sleep. About 2:45, I get up because I have to pee. But this isn't the first time I've had to pee. I had to pee about 10 o'clock, but my body was like, we're already dealing with something. We cannot allow this passage. And I couldn't go pee. So I had to pee at 10 p.m. Body held it up because it was busy doing something else. So at 2:45, I get up, go back to the bathroom, go pee for like, I swear, a minute straight at a very strong stream. Then we start this fight again. I'm still constipated. Hemorrhoids are flaring. I am in that bathroom for another 45 minutes. Nothing's happening. I still have like free-flowing fluid, diarrhea from all the citrate, magnesium citrate, plus the 2 enemas I've given myself tonight. But the mass is still there. It won't move. So I'm like, okay, we're still here. I'm in there fighting for 45 minutes. I decide, I'm so exhausted. I'm exhausted. I have work. I have work today, Easter day. I work. My work week is Sunday through Thursday. So I'm really trying to make it to work. Okay? Because it's a holiday. You don't want to call in on the holiday when you were just fine the Thursday before. So, I'm just trying to make it in work. So, about 3:30, I get back in the bed. And then finally, I do go to sleep at about 4 o'clock. I go back to sleep. And I woke up at 6 a.m. So just in case you're not keeping track, let me show you. Started this fight at 9 p.m. Went to bed at 1 a.m. Laid down, didn't sleep until 2:45. Got up and fought again until 3:30 a.m. Laid down, went to sleep at about 4 a.m. Woke up at 6 a.m. Okay, so I've been sleeping for 2 hours. And then the hour 45 where I was just laying there in pain. So now it's 6 a.m. I'm back in the bathroom. I'm still unable to go. Still unable to go. Now I got some more liquid, coming out from all the stuff I've given myself. I want to say there was even something else I took. I don't know. But I've been drinking water this whole time. Like, maybe I can just liquefy everything. I can just drown myself. I don't know. So at about 8 a.m., I call the nurse. And I'm like, hey, this is what's happening. I'm on the phone. Like, please don't cry on the phone with this woman. And I do. I start crying. Just start. Anyway. They say, well, since she's had the surgery, she's had the bariatric, the bypass. That's not what I have anyway. That's the other name. The bypass. Okay, so I had the sleeve. Since I had the sleeve, they didn't want me to get impacted where they would have to take like drastic measures to help me out. They said, have her go to the ER. Now, mind you, with all this stuff going on right now, the ER, the hospital, I did not want to be within 5 miles of it. Okay? But I was at the point now where things were out of my control. As far as everything I had at home, I had done. Nothing was working. So I was like, you know what? Go in the ER. I get to the ER. They take me back pretty quick because obviously everyone else is like me. They're not going unless they absolutely have to. Even though they had a part like sectioned off for if you had a cough or problem breathing or anything, you had to go into the corona tent. I went into the ER and I was kind of like just walking. She's questioning me outside, making sure, I had a reason to be there. And I was just keep walking by her, like walking and talking like, oh no, lady, I'm going inside. And there I received my third enema since 9 p.m. So, third enema. Now this enema, they said, they call it a SITS enema, but this one has a longer tube than the enemas I have at home. So this one is supposed to be able to get up further around the blockage, liquefy it, and push everything out. Then the man tells me I have to hold this enema in for 20 minutes at the least. Okay. I'm thinking I'm about to make a big mess in this ER room. Okay, so first they put me in a room, right? And the nurse was like getting prepped, and he said, we're going to get a commode to put here and, do your enema, and then we'll sit you on the commode. And I was like, whatever. Well, then the other nurse comes in and she's like, we don't have anything. We don't have one her size. So even though I've had the bariatric sleeve and I've lost quite a bit of weight, I'm not exactly sure because remember I can't weigh in until May 1st. The last time I checked at the ER was 380. So I still can't fit in like regular stuff all the time. So they ended up, which actually worked for me because they put me in an emergency room that had its own toilet. So that was perfect. There was a door, I wouldn't have to make all this noise in front of people. So it worked out. So I did. I held it for 20 minutes, held the enema for 20 minutes. And then I thought, okay, he said 20 at minimum. So I was trying to hold it longer because I was really trying to get this cleared up. My thing is like, I've texted my bosses and I'm like, hey, guess what? This is what's happening. I didn't tell them everything. I just said I'm having like post-surgery complications. That's what I said. Because I didn't want to give the whole spiel. But Monday morning I did. I gave the whole spiel to my immediate manager. I gave it to her. I sure did. I'm sure she appreciated it. Not. She got the whole spiel. Everything you're getting, she got. On her way to work, mind you. Okay, so I'm in the ER. Finally, I go. And this time it's big, right? It's a big go. It's all fluid. But here's the thing. The mass is still there. But now I have fluid passing on the right or the left and the right. But it's still sitting there. It's still sitting there. Like you can feel like if it's a plunk or comes out. You know what I mean? I don't know why I'm so good on the sound effects. Why I do this all the time. I'm sorry. So, but I'm still okay because I've had more moving. I've had some movement. And I'm okay with that. I'm just really happy that things are moving. I'm satisfied. So, I get up. I go sit on the gurney. The nurse comes to check, and then I go, again. I think I probably went 2 more times before I left, but still the blockage was there. And I could tell that because when I walked out, I was still bent over. My butt still hurt. Okay, so I leave the ER. And since everything is, sectioned off, you can't just roam freely throughout the hospital. They have, they're trying to make sure everyone's safe, right? So I couldn't take the straight path, which seemed very far, to the discharge pharmacy. So I had to go back to my car and then drive around, find it, and then walk in. So anyway, I had to do that. Which was fine because it got me my mile, right? I have all these April challenges. I need to at least hit a mile a day. So that worked out. When I get to the pharmacy, because the nurse had told me the doctor gave you a lot of stuff because he thinks you're backed up really far. So I said, okay. And when she said a lot of stuff, for some reason in my head, I'm thinking like a bottle full of laxatives. Like this is what I'm thinking, a bottle full of laxatives. I get there and she brings out one bottle with 2 laxatives because they are the beginning of the gallon of colite. So if you're having like some kind of procedure, right? And they're going to be going up the intestine. Yeah, that's what they gave me. A gallon of colite. Yeah, drink that. Have fun with that, girl. So I'm like, okay, well, I'll, start it when I get home from work. Listen, I got home and I'm like texting my staff and I'm like, hey, this is what's going on. I'm running late, but I'll be there, right? I get home, I get showered. Immediately, I have to go to the bathroom. Okay, I go. This was a pretty good movement too, right? So I'm happy for it. I get in the room. I'm about to start getting dressed. I gotta run back out to the bathroom again because I gotta go again. And I'm like, okay, so at this point, I'm just trying to get out of the house. I'm just trying to get out of the house at this point, right? So this is when I call my manager because I had just told her, remember, post-surgery complications. So this is when I tell her over the phone, on her loudspeaker in the car, what exactly is going on. I forgot to ask her if there was anyone else in the car. She never said there was. I assume there wasn't. I don't know. I should. I'm gonna ask her on Sunday. Was there anyone in the car with you? No, that's wrong. This is the wrong day. Wait, that is the right day. Sunday I couldn't make it. Okay. So I got out the shower. Had to go twice. Okay. So then I text, I'm not coming in. This is not better like I thought it was. So I'm sitting at home, drinking the colite. Do you know I didn't have another bowel movement? Those 2 right after the shower were just like, yeah. Okay. So now I'm sitting here. I'm exhausted. I still can't go to sleep, right? But I'm drinking the colite. I have these other laxatives. But I'm alive, right? I'm making it. So I stay home Sunday. Monday, here comes the same thing. I'm in the shower. I had to go. I get out of the shower. I'm back in the bathroom. So this is when I call her Monday morning. And give her the whole spiel on her way to work. And I'm like, at this point, I'm just trying to get out of the house. That's it. I'm trying to get out of the house. I will make it. I'm going to be late. But then I don't think I can stay the whole day because I don't know how this is going to go. Oh, and so someone had also told me, someone from the group had said she drinks Miralax every morning in her coffee. Now, I've done Miralax before, and I've done like Crystal Light, I think apple juice or something, and it doesn't work for me. Like, okay, now this maybe this is just me. I don't know, but I swear, when you put that stuff in something cold, it warms it up. Like it's hot, not hot, but warm, and then it changed the consistency, so it's like a Jello that you just mix together, like it's hanging onto the spoon and stuff. It's not as thin as it was, and it changes the flavor, right? Maybe that's just me. So when she said she puts it in coffee, I thought, oh, this works because I put a lot of creamer in coffee. First of all, coffee makes me go. Secondly, creamer now makes me go, I assume, because I've tried almond milk and that made me go, so I assume that the creamer would make me feel the same. And then the laxative on top. And I thought since it was already hot and thick, I couldn't taste the laxative. And I was right. I put that Miralax in that coffee with that creamer. It tastes just fine. It It went down just fine. And you know what happened? Boom. Everything was moving. Everything was moving. Okay, so finally I got some movement. So I get to work Monday. I have me a glass of this stuff, right? And, well, now I'm starting to move and I'm like, oh, you know what? We can't stay here at work. So I was at work from like 9:45-ish to about 12:20. That's it. I came home like, let's finish this up. Come home, nothing was moving. It's done. So I'm still, I have the cold light because I was drinking it late that day because I had to put it in the fridge and everything. I got Crystal Light in there, and it's really salty. It's not the best thing, but I'm drinking it. I'm just drinking it on top, drinking it plus my other laxatives, and finally stuff starts moving. But now this whole week, this entire week, I've been doing coffee Miralax creamer every morning, and have been getting movement, right? Well, then everyone was like, these clothes are too big. I've been wearing clothes I didn't have to wear a belt on all week because, well, I won't say all week, because I wasn't there Sunday. Monday I was there for 2 hours and some change. So Tuesday, Wednesday, they were like, these clothes are really big. And I was like, well, part of the reason is because I'm wearing stuff I don't wear a belt to, because if I gotta go, I don't know if I have time to be fighting with a belt and a button and, zippers and stuff. So I got pants I could just pull on and off, right? But then I gotten this stuff, these clothes from this website I ordered from, because my coworkers, all the managers there went in and they got me a gift card to this store when I went. So the day I left before my surgery, they presented me with a card and a gift card, right? So I finally spent the gift card and I bought 4X clothes. Well, they came in and I was like, oh, I'm not trying these clothes on until May, because I don't think they'll fit. But people at work are like, well, your 5Xs don't fit anymore. They don't fit anymore. So, and I was like, well, we'll see. So the next morning, my mom's like, you need to try them on. Like, you need to just try them on. See how they fit. So Thursday morning, I try them on. Put the shirt on. I'm like, oh my God. It's not like clinging to me or anything. Like, it fits, right? So I'm like, do I have any pants that might fit? So I found a pair. So I went from a 36 to a 32, and I went from a 6X to like a 4X. Okay, so I did have a pair of 32 pants. They have 2 buttons and a zipper and require a belt because they kind of hang off my butt. My body is full of laxatives. This terrifies me, okay? Because I am full of laxatives. But I really want to wear these clothes. So I put on the shirt, one of the shirts, I put on the pants, I got to work, I drank the coffee and the creamer. I did not put the Miralax in it. I was afraid. Sure enough, I had to go, but I made it. I did not embarrass myself at work. I made it to the restroom. And I made it. But even today, like today is Friday. Listen, I barely made it through the week. I'm so exhausted from everything. Finally, I don't know if it was, Sunday night because that day, nothing really happened. And that night, I passed some masses. But then Monday after the Miralax. No, Monday after the Miralax, I passed I think it was Tuesday after the Miralax. That's when I finally passed a mass that was gone, the one that was doing the main blocking. So it took a couple of days, but I was still getting plenty of movement, but not the mass. And then finally the mass went. I got some Tux and some Preparation H because, you're talking about some pain. Oh my God. Wiping was just I'm in tears. I am crying. I'm like, hold on, girl, you got this. You got this. You know, I gotta coach myself through it. It was a hot mess. Still today, I'm running back and forth because I'm full of laxatives. So what I've learned is I need to get myself a regimen for laxatives. Someone told me that she has probiotics. So I have probiotics on my list, picking them up from the store tomorrow. And she says that since she started her probiotics, like, she does not have this problem. And I used to be on probiotics, and they cleared up a lot of issues for me. So I got some for me and for my kids, actually. I got them some too. Just to keep, because one of my sons, my youngest son, always has a problem with constipation. So I'm going to, in hopes that it will help him too. So this is my very TMI times 1000 story of constipation. I'm hoping it can help someone out. Get yourself a regimen, girl, fella, whoever you are. After you have your gastric bypass or gastric sleeve, get yourself a regimen, whether it be probiotics, it's, you know, laxatives all the time, it's coffee because it pushes you, make sure you have something. And if you feel like, you know, it's not regular anymore, like, you can't just say, oh, it's just not flowing as much as it used. If it slows down, it goes from slow to no. It goes from slow to no in like 0.0 seconds, okay? So once you see your flow, your bowel movements have slowed down, you need to be on it right away. So, you know, first of all, try not to let them slow down. If they do slow down, take note and immediately act, because you do not want to end up in the ER. You do not want to end up impacted. It was not fun. Like, someone was like, hey, let's do this thing. We'll do the peak and the pit. That was most definitely my pit in this entire quarantine time. It had nothing to do with quarantine. As far as the quarantine goes, I'm fine. I get out every day to go to work. My kids get out every day to exercise. I'm home. Like, it hasn't been anything crazy, except you can't find tissue. Oh yeah, so I'm afraid, you know, I'm on the toilet back and forth that whole night. Every time I wipe, I'm like, I can't be going through this tissue. Where am I going to find more toilet paper? Come on, man. I got other things to worry about. I'm not going to worry about the tissue. So anyway, that's my story. If you didn't catch it from the beginning, just, you know, I'm going to post it. I know I went live, but I'm going to post it. You can see it when it uploads. Ugh, just don't let it happen to you. It was bad. It was bad. It's still bad because I'm still full of laxatives. It's ridiculous. Yeah. So today I just got up and did the regular normal stuff. Laundry. Brought myself back home. And good thing, because I am full of laxatives and I had to run to the bathroom. That's how it is here. All right. So I'm signing off. Once again, this is Rowie Rochelle from Rowie's Bariatric Journey. This is my constipation log. It was a mess. It was a nightmare. And I'm just hoping to get back to normal. Gonna get my probiotics. Yes. And gonna stay on the laxatives for another few days at least, while the probiotics are getting settled in. And hopefully everything is good and right with the world. All right, that's it. Like, comment, share the page, like the page. Do everything you need to do. Get me out there, y'all. I'm looking for followers and stuff. I'm on Facebook. I'm on YouTube. Rowie's Bariatric Journey. I'm on Instagram and what's the other thing? Twitter. But I have more stuff on Instagram. It's just easier for me. All right, y'all. Bye.